It's much easier to go forward with a support player that you don't really know than go backwards.
Yeah.
So definitely agree with what you're saying there. But in the end, it's been really interesting to see these two teams play, and I can't wait till they get on the riff for this one.
Yeah, well, we are already in Champion Select, ladies and gentlemen. Lulu going to be taken away here first by BTK, and of course, Nunu and Zed going to follow.
Yeah, so in the end, Hard Random taking away a Nunu and a Zed. They missed a ban there on the side of Bangkok Titans. Rek'Sai also taken off the map there. So that one's a attack at Symphony in the jungle.
Yeah, and Symphony actually looked fantastic. Maybe went a little bit over-aggressive in his early ganks in their previous game, but still managed to get the job done, of course, getting Kira ahead early on. And the miss of a ban here for the Bangkok Titans means that they weren't able to ban away any Dianas. Is Cassiopeia going to be taken off, and that's going to leave Hecarim open yet again. This is ridiculous.
Insta-locked Hecarim one more time. Symphony, he's able to pick up the Gragas and Morgana. So that has been denied from Moss, unfortunately. We're not going to see that support Hecarim, at least not on Bangkok Titans' side, but that's a very quick 3 picks.
Yeah, and that's sort of a double support loss here for Moss. Unable to play the Gragas there as well as G4 looking at an Urgot. We'll see whether that one does come through. Of course, only a hover for now, so won't necessarily consider it. Sejuani's still up here for 007X if he wants to pick it up, and LeBlanc, seen her be pretty successful just recently, and Moss considering the Thresh.
Yeah, so looking for the Thresh pickup against Morgana. Doesn't really have fantastic lane pressure, although Black Shield all of a sudden doesn't do much to the death sentence portion at least. As we'll see exactly what is picked up. Looks like they're hovering Udyr once more, and that's been locked in. What an aggressive jungle pickup. They're going for that heavy frontline composition one more time. And they're expecting a Sivir pickup here with the composition, although it was played with Graves last time, so I don't really blame Lex for insta-locking a Jinx.
Yeah, but it's exactly what happened last time around. I mean, they don't have access to the Gragas this time, but it's still Hecarim Udyr, and if there's any two champions that are going to, like, not care about anything and just beeline for that Jinx, it's these two. Is having the Ezreal on the team going to help out? And also, I guess the explosive cast is going to be helpful.
Okay, so what they're doing right now is they're setting up a fast push composition against 0 wave clear so far. So they've recognized that Udyr, no wave clear. Hecarim, no wave clear. So what they're going to go for is Gragas is just going to ult people away. They're going to throw the Black Shield on one of the AD carries. They're going to group early and just try and crush every structure on the map. So Hard Random really committing to a mid-game focus comp around 2 AD carries.
Yeah, and Smurf as well. I mean, he's a Morgana player there in the top lane, so we could be waiting on Demonko to lock in that support. So we'll see whether that's exactly how he's going to be playing this one. He's sort of hovering over Teleport Smite, which may not necessarily be the options here for the Morgana, as Diana is actually being considered here by Moss. That's why that one's on my mind, and we'll see whether that one does come through. 1 second to go. Last second swap over to the Ahri here for G4, and G4 the playmaker here for the Bangkok Titans, and that is definitely a playmaking champion.
Yeah, I like it because it has more wave clear than what Diana does, so able to clear out the wave from afar.
The disengage
with that orb. And it was a top lane Morgana being picked up. You're completely correct. Smurf going to be able to take that one. Both top laners had previously played Hecarim, as you can see down below. However, Janna, that's even more disengage coming through here. Good luck if you're Udyr this time, running through Morgana, Gragas, and Janna to get to anyone. Really is a lot of pressure on G4 to get someone caught out of position and be able to blow them up, because otherwise they're going to have trouble getting onto the priority targets.
Yeah, and so this is sort of the classic double AD comp, but are they going to be definitely going for this fast push strategy, trying to take down the turrets early on? Is there going to be any dragon pressure this game?
Yeah, there's definitely dragon pressure in every game. They're going to look to be able to secure every objective possible, but it really is about the standing gold on the map. You want to be able to get these AD carries to positions, especially around the 21-minute mark, when Ezreal is going to have the Muramana and the Trinity Force finished off. 21 to about 25 minutes coming through there. And Lex is going to have an Infinity Edge, Azeel, and Boots. That's when you really expect this team comp to get off the ground and be able to run away with an early advantage. However, in saying that, if they're able to counter jungle Symphony, force early engages, fight this composition before the team fights get going, there is a reason that early game mages are prioritized in the meta still, and it's because they just do a heck of a lot of damage to squishy targets.
You can see on your screens there, hard random. Smiles on their faces all round, whereas on the other side, Bangkok Titans looking pretty serious and ready to take some names this game.
Yeah, they certainly do. But this is something that we were expecting a lot coming in. A lot of double AD carry comps have been practiced by the regions. And I think that this is, I guess, an evolution of the meta, especially when people pick scaling. Double AD carry deals with it very well. You're able to get 2 people to deal with the super tanks. And you just get ahead really early. So we'll see whether they can make it work over on hard random side. On Bangkok Titans, it's once again a little bit more of a time bomb. Can we get the Hecarim to the point that he just jumps onto the Jinx and she dies?
Yeah, and as far as the jungle matchup is concerned, a little bit interesting there. Udyr hasn't necessarily experienced the Gragas jungle just recently, just because he has been sort of slightly out of the meta. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a slight pause at the beginning of the game, which is why we're going to be going over this. And I'm interested to see exactly who's going to have the early pressure advantage and whether Udyr can stand up to this this Gragas, because of course Udyr very safe in the jungle.
Udyr stands up to everyone in the jungle. Udyr is like Nunu with the purpose of not taking camps with the purpose of killing you. So he's really strong at being able to duel early on because of how spammable Turtle Stance is. Very underrated ability. That W gives you a really good shield coming through. And also Phoenix Stance just does ridiculous amounts of mixed damage. Of course, some magic coming through. As well as your normal auto attacks as you just slap people around. So Udyr, very strong. Gragas, good jungler in his own right, but really is gated more around his abilities. Whereas Udyr, auto attack. Every one of his abilities is based around his auto attack, so he can get a lot of work done. So
Stance dancing. Not
expecting him to get invaded or anything like that. In fact, I'm expecting Udyr, 007X to be able to go a little bit more aggressive and be able to invade a lot. And look, we saw Udyr deal completely fine with a... what was it played last time? Can't remember off the top of my head, sorry. So we saw him, but in the jungle, it was like, I think he was like 3-2 double-digit assists, somewhere around 14, 15, something like that. So he was able to deal completely fine with whatever the team comp was bringing at him.
Yeah, and he also just gets incredibly tanky towards the end of the game as well, especially with that Cinderhulk now being considered on these Udyrs these days. You just become unkillable.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, you can go Cinderhulk, you pick up your Merc Treads because they're so important at negating CC coming through for these melee carries. And then you go like Locket, some more CDR, tankiness, and you're just able to run around super quick, be hyper annoying, have that CDR required. And then if you get on the back line, every 6 seconds, you're just stunning every priority target and being able to dance in between and keep yourself ridiculously healthy. He's just real hard to deal with.
Yeah, it just becomes frustrating. We've seen sort of a little bit of an evolution of the Udyr as well. A lot of them sort of early on decide, look, I want to build damage. I want to have a Trinity Force in my back pocket, be able to actually take people down. Now you're sort of more of a stun bot.
Yeah, but one thing that you do notice about Udyr is he needs what I like to call a facilitator in the mid lane. So he needs something like an Orianna, something like a Lulu to really get him in there. Sivir is another good facilitator for Udyr. Something that allows him to get onto the back line, and then once he's there, he has no problem sticking. The problem is to get him there. And against a Morgana, a Janna, and a Gragas coming through, it's going to be really hard to get him on the back line without a ridiculously good flash engage over a wall or something, or maybe like a miracle flank coming through. But otherwise, 007X, he needs to get creative, I think is a good word, in how he gets to the back line.
Yeah, so maybe some flanking engages
like a well-timed flashed over a Janna to get blown onto the AD carry. That would be cool.
Nice, or flashing over an explosive cask as it's coming towards you.
Yeah, now we're talking. That's what he's looking for.
He's going to go ping pong, though, because they have so many different options here for the disengage. Explosive cask, monsoons, sort of just flying around everywhere.
Better yet, he could like keep going further into their team.
Oh, maybe. He might even just get into their base. And that may actually have a negative effect.
That might be too far. That's not what he's looking for. W07X, don't do that.
No, it's an espionage mission. Might be able to make that one work. Oh, God, I hope those jokes don't continue.
Yeah, I certainly hope so as well. And I guess the other key part of the that we have to look at is the Ahri. We've talked about Ahri pretty extensively because of last game and how you like to play around with vision for it. G4 in a very similar situation, still going to be looking for some picks to come through there. And I think really important here is going to have to allow people to deny vision, look around, and then be able to secure exactly what they're looking for coming into that. And that also might set up the Udyr to be able to get some work done.
Yeah, well, if you land a charm, then you get an easy bear stance from that if you're going to sort of rocket out of a brush here as well. If they're going to set up ganks like that, they do have the Thresh on the lineup as well, so they can have the death sentence for the mid-game sort of attacking comp that really wants to grab a pick and then grab an objective off it, and we'll see whether they can play around that. Of course, G4 being a massive star player here for the Bangkok Titans, and on Ari, you are able to affect a team fight in a massive AoE sense by dancing around the outside, really getting those Spirit Rush damage down, and also those Foxfires that you can really repeatedly spam throughout these fights, and we'll see whether he manages to get that happening because, of course, this is a player that really does step up for his team.
Yeah, and he needs to step up this game. You know, he's the guy that they have to rely on for a lot of their initial CC. They don't have great initiation without him unless you really count the Hecarim coming in here. Not many other people can nail a priority target.
Yeah, well, it's true, and we'll see whether the Onslaught of Shadows is going to be on point as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the Rift. Bangkok Titans taking on Hard Random. Southeast Asia against CIS, and we'll see who's going to take this one. Both of these teams with victories under their belt already. And Hard Random grouping up already. Demonco is actually going to catch G4 in a face check here. Might need to blow the flash as the rockets are coming down. Lex getting some work done. 007 deciding to just wait around for a bit, was unable to stand on the lantern and gets killed.
Yeah, so he got bound through from Smurf and then got
that's
taken
what happened.
out.
My goodness,
he
that
did
was
not just stand around. He was CC'd and he was
he
made
was just
pay for not the early flash.
Oh, just did not see the Dark Binding there at all. Really beautiful play to come through from Smurf, and might have a little bit of extra AP there as well, so may have actually helped with the damage portion.
Yeah, so he might be able to go back, grab another ring as well first up, and that would put Morgana in a fantastic position early on in a lane. Looks like that is exactly what she has done, being able to go pick up one for each finger in a really good spot.
Smurf must really like Morgana.
Yeah.
Put 2 rings on it. Not too bad. Actually, yeah, 10 fingers was just confirmed by our producer. So we could actually see some extra inventory slots coming through here.
Yeah, potentially, although maybe not the case, as you see Kira already starting to try and poke out in this mid lane. So Hard Random, they've started off very impressively. See, lane swap also coming through here, trying to get the fast push going even further. Morgana deals really well with lane swaps.
And Hecarim, not so much.
Yeah, so Flandre, one of the top laners in the LPL, played a lot of top lane Morgana. And when asked why he played top lane Morgana, he said because you don't have to CS, you just drop your puddle and then walk away, and it kind of does it for you. And that's why Morgana really good in the lane swap situation. You're just able to walk up to the wave, you black shield yourself, you drop your puddle, you're able to push out very, very effectively, pick up all the CS that you need, and then you just roam. You're very good with your ultimate, with your Dark Binding, able to catch people out from the Fog of War, a deceptively long CC with a hitbox the size of a truck, able to get these ganks going.
And the other thing I really like as well is the fact that Hard Random have dodged the Thresh Graves lane, which is arguably incredibly terrifying.
Yeah, I think that you can just not argue that one at that point and say it's a really strong lane coming through there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and
I like arguing.
Yeah. Not tonight, Atlas. Yeah, so definitely is a worthwhile opportunity to be able to dodge that one. I think more importantly, though, it unlocks their composition. So they're looking to get this one going early. They want to make sure that they're getting the fast push in. And if they stack up this minion wave so they get 2 waves hitting the turret at the same time, they can really shove this one in really nicely. And as you can see how many caster creeps there are there, they definitely have 2 waves on this turret now.
Yeah, and that Zap and Howling Gale to come through here from Demonco and Lex, really doing some work here onto Warlock, who's just entered the lane. Does have to pop everything in his arsenal as Kira actually going very aggressive here against G4, but he's going to bite back, cancels the auto attack. So unfortunate as G4 does manage to get over the wall with a flash and picks up the 1v1. Second blood, of course, is going to be going down after that level 1, but really nice play here from the star player of Bangkok Titan. Oh my goodness, the Chomper's doing some work, but
I can't believe they didn't run past the turret there. Turret wouldn't have aggroed on them. Warlock was way too far out of reach and probably could have picked up the kill. Instead, they just go back to farming the CS. But in the mid lane, G4, good outplay coming through there. One-on-one, you saw the Ezreal Kira go extremely aggressive, but in the end, wasn't able to land the skill shots. You can't say the same for the Ahri, able to nail everything.
Yeah, and Kira actually managing to use the cleanse on the ignite there at the same time, but it just wasn't enough after the flash came through over that wall. And G4 with another round of spells just to smack Ezreal in the face and pick up that kill. And it's very, very frightening here because, of course, getting G4 ahead is exactly what BKT need.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Kira, he's not going for the tier build either. He's picked himself up a longsword. We'll see whether that's a long-term thing or whether he only had 360 gold and decided to do some thrift shopping. But all of a sudden, no summoner spells in the mid lane. Very attractive place for Gragas to come gank. We'll see if he can make it work.
Oh, I think he showed. He did. Pinged out there by G4. Unfortunately, walking a little bit too far through that brush.
The belly.
Yep. Can't poke that tummy out. And I'm not going to be saying anything mean about Gragas anymore.
But the turret dive might be coming in here. Moss, he's scouted it out very well. Symphony hanging around. They're trying to get aggressive onto Warlock once again, but it's always dangerous diving a Thresh.
Yeah, Thresh. The point-blank death sentence onto the creep. 007, though, looking for Smurf. That black shield does get broken by the Phoenix stance, but 007 pretty optimistic trying to go for that.
Yeah, that's a very hard gank to pull off as Udi. You saw how much magic damage came through, but in the end, it's just not going to work out in his favor. As Symphony, he's now pinging out. The fact that Thresh has left the lane, got a good, nice, deep ward over, but will run head first into the jungler. Symphony backing away.
Yep, Barrel going to at least aggravate the Gromp for a moment.
Poor Gromp.
Yeah, Gromp is going to be fine, though. Don't worry. Spawn here is going to just head back into his little cove and be okay. These Raptors, however, not so much, as Symphony is going to take them down. He's going to be able to potentially scout out for some wards here as well, as you have to think that Hard Random probably looking to try and gank this mid lane. It has been what they've done in the past, but especially now with the fact that G4 doesn't have any summoner spells and is, well, actually his level 6 is going to be very hard to gank this Ahri bit. They really need to try and keep G4 down.
Yeah, they certainly do, but G4 now just able to push out with Reckless Abandon, has all the cooldown reduction available, and he's going in deep.
Yeah, Symphony actually coming through. G4 still thinking about this one as G4's going to notice the pink ward. He's going to turn around and take that one down.
Take it out. Wow, what confident play coming through for the mid lane. It also has Ignite still available, so Kira, he needs to be careful. Probably doesn't have the backup he thinks he does, and he's burnt his ultimate now.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage just to try and clear out this wave. Just the tip of the Orbit Deception going to hit Kira there as well for a lot of damage. Not a lot of mana on this Ezreal, as he's been forced to farm out with those Mystic shots. And G4, Fiendish Codex versus the first buy of the Longsword is just a little bit ridiculous here from the mid laner.
Yeah, that's certainly mammoth. I want to talk about Symphony for a second, though. He's picked up the Challenging Smite. The reason I like that pickup on Gragas, where I wouldn't normally like it, is all of a sudden, if Udyr runs at you, you have a real mechanism to be able to deal with him early game. It gets rid of a lot of the damage, means that you do extra damage to him with your auto attacks, and you assume you're going to get a few through on Udyr, who is, of course, very melee. Probably the definition of melee. And yeah, just able to, I guess, give him something to be able to deal with the Udyr.
Yeah, Lloyd now having to deal with the fact that this puddle is just pushing this wave over and over. Unfortunately, unable to last hit the cannon minion quite as effectively as Smurf would have otherwise liked. Smurf does have the Fiendish Codex in his back pocket as well. Of course, did go back to buy just recently. Probably going towards that 20% cooldown reduction very early on, just so that he has as many Dark Bindings as possible. So look to see possibly an Athene's Unholy Grail or that Morellonomicon early on with the Lucidity Boots. Yeah,
and both top laners farming relatively well. They haven't been denied too heavily. In the top lane, Warlock has, I guess, only 35 CS. He is 10 behind, but for a Hecarim in a 2v1 lane, that's still relatively good. Got some good support coming through from Moss on Thresh, was able to pick up a lot of the CS, so not going to be an extremely quick, fast push coming through here. Jinx hasn't been able to take out a sub 8-minute turret, for example. They've definitely been forced to lane against someone, and BF swords come through and they still stick in the lane swap. So we'll see whether that is the first item threshold that they're really looking for to tear through these turrets.
Yeah, Hard Random have actually managed to find themselves a 500 gold lead as Symphony's made his way towards this top side. They're able to take down the top outer turret. And that is before a Dragon has even been looked at here from the Bangkok Titans, even with the man advantage on the bottom side of the map.
As Demonko goes a little bit aggressive there. So that's the first turret picked up. Now where do they take their duo lane? Do they take the mid and try and push in on Ari, who's just got blue buff? That's probably not a great idea. More than likely will go bottom lane, but Graves also has terrific wave clear and also has picked up a BF sword for himself, so has great dueling potential. As Kira once again forced to burn that ultimate to try and get something done in the lane. So instead, it looks like they're sticking with Warlock. Do they just continue to push top and try and grab a tier 2?
Yeah, I guess they don't want to give Warlock the opportunity to freeze this wave as well, so maybe they'll just push it through, but they are actually deciding to go back. Maybe a little bit of undecided play to come through from Hard Random, but eventually they are going to decide to head back home.
Taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, 007 coming around here as well. There's a flash body slam coming through as G4 takes a whole lot of damage. Spirit Rush going to be used in order to get out, but they turn the attention to 007. Teleports coming through as 007 is able to get to safety, but Lloyd and Moss, they're around. Collateral damage comes through, and the Bangkok Titans pick up a kill. There's Warlock that comes down with the Onslaught of Shadows, and yeah, Symphony wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, that was crushed. Symphony absolutely evaporated as Demonko got caught.
Yeah, there's the Descendants to come down as well as Smurf does land the Dark Binding. Chompers there as well as Lex looking to get excited. The last auto attack is going to get Jinx happy on this one as Demonko. There's the Monsoon to come through. Super Mega Death Rocket Warlock taking so much damage as he gets stunned, but not enough. Demonko's going to fall. Lloyd 2-0-1 now picks himself up another kill, and this was with a Jinx with an item advantage, and they just couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, and I think it was Papa Smithy that said Lloyd was Pinoy-esque in his ultimates. That was another beautiful collateral damage coming across. Absolutely exploded Demonko.
Oh,
wow,
dear.
On the backside, Smurf able to pick up a cute kill.
Yeah, Scuttle Crab baited 007. A little bit unfortunate there, but Dragon is now going to be started here by a Hard Random. They're trying to pull it out, is going to be going down very, very quickly. Of course, Jinx with a couple of 80 items, and of course that minigun with a few points in it, going to be taking this one down very quickly. And Kira able to push out this mid lane as well. So in the end, Hard Random actually picking up an advantage.
Yeah, so Hard Random able to come out ahead. Smurf, he's 3-0-0 now. Very, looking very well in this game. Or actually has bumped into Warlock too. With a red buff, going to do a lot of damage. Of course, no teleport available, so that's damage that will stick. No pots either.
You can imagine Warlock just really frustrated after that. Morgana just really shrugging off all of the attempted displacement. As another True Shot Barrage rifles down the lane. Tier now completed by Kira. Almost towards that Man Immune there as well, as Orbit Deception really now starting to clear out these waves. 80 AP from that Morellan Omicron really helping him out.
Yeah, 3 men in the bottom lane. 007X looking to see if Moss is the man that can get him onto the back line. We were talking about facilitators. Moss is another one. Can take his friend on a magic ride. Not as good as Bard's, but
don't you be talking about
pretty good.
I'm just really upset the Bard hasn't been played in the IWCI just yet. Fingers are still crossed, though. Just because Oriana's back in the meta, you know, and that Tempered Fate plus Shockwave combo, if you can set it up beautifully. So nice to see. But let's get back into this game. There are no Bards.
So we see the tier stacking away nicely now for Kira. He's
nice charm.
Oh, that was a lot of damage as well coming through from G4. Have to keep an eye on that one. If he's able to ever solo out the Ezreal, that means fantastic things coming through from Bangkok Titan as another True Shot Barrage heads down the map. That's being used on cooldowns. Nearly how sometimes we see Lucio mid lanes just culling waves for the sake of culling waves.
Yeah, and Symphony coming around in this mid lane yet again. Nice Mystic Shot to land. Akira's going to use the very last ounce of his mana. Symphony finds a pink ward here in the brush. They are going to be able to clear that one out. Of course, Dragon Vision available for the Bangkok Titans, but only vision of the fact that it's dead.
Gank. Did he show down there? Mustn't have. They're still pushing in. G4, he's in trouble.
Yeah, looking to pick up a kill here, though. Does miss the charm, but Kira taking a lot of damage. The cleanse doing some work, but G4 picks it up before Symphony can answer back. And kill for jungler compared to kill for mid lane are still going to be working out in the favor of Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, it certainly is. And now 007X here to try and get in for some stuff. But Moss, good
Oh,
hook.
there's the dive. They kill the turret just as Lex falls down. Nice exhaust from Demonco, though, who does have the storm himself. Lloyd taking a lot of damage, but the exhaust now onto Lex as Dark Passage is used. Point blank buckshot again, and another death sentence. This Bangkok Titans bottom lane is so frightening.
4-0-1 now for the Graves. That was against an Infinity Edge, and the exhaust coming through from Moss on the wind-up of the Super Mega Death Rocket was just so impressive. Able to get him in there. They're going to push out the lane as well. All of a sudden, there's a 1,000 gold lead. A turret has fallen in the bottom lane, and Bangkok Titans really wrestling control of this game.
Yeah, Kira almost with the Phage after that Man Immune has been completed. Of course, going for that classic mid-game Ezreal build, but let's see this again.
Yeah, so able to get in there with the hook. The box went down, keeping Demonco in there, but this is what it was. On the charge up, able to get the exhaust down on Lex's Super Mega Death Rocket, just secured them, and every single ability there thrown out by Thresh hit. More impressively, it didn't steal any kills. Very happy AD carry coming through there for Lloyd. But now you can see they're not happy with the way this game's going. They're looking to force in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Oh.
G4 actually going to get caught there as well. Zap lands. Nice use of the Dark Passage shield just to try and keep them alive. It's hard random looking for more. Smurf's going to get caught by the Death Sentence. True Chop Barrage does a fair bit of damage, and look at the AoE coming through here. Super Mega Death Rocket wishes it was up. Only another couple of seconds until that one's going to be there. This tower under a lot of siege as 007 gets hit by another binding. Smurf is fantastic on this one as Symphony going for a dive. There's the explosive cask. Super Mega Death Rocket almost gets Moss, and hard random. They managed to get Lloyd for the shutdown, and their poke is outrageous.
Yeah, it certainly is. Never underestimate Morgana in these dive scenarios. Anti-dive very good, but also able to throw out that CC at will. Being able to pressure in here, has finished up the Morellonomicon, is 3-0-1. Very, I guess, sitting very pretty in this game, and they take down the mid lane turret, back away. All of a sudden, they got an even game.
Yeah, and Smurf, what do you think about these Sorcerer's shoes that he's picked up as well, Spawn? Because I would have thought that 40% CDR is something that Morgana's looking for.
Yeah, might be running the CDR scaling blues. Have to check that one out after the game, but definitely agree that the 40%, especially because he's not going to be picking up blue buff, would be important. But we see a lot of mid laners at the moment run those scaling blues just to be able to get there.
Well, we'll see whether he is, as Wave is going to be successfully pushed back here. G4 looking to set up vision around this dragon. It is going to be up again in another 35 seconds, and that Oracle's lens available. Nice scouting Mystic shots to come through, but they don't find G4 just yet. Kira does find one there, and does note the... Oh, wow! That was blind! How did...
He's got his power level.
Man, that scout is definitely working. I think G4 really needs to look at hiding his chi in this one. Because, man...
No, lost it again. He can only
as soon as he can see
shots.
them, it just doesn't quite work out. Zap. Oh, that was close. G4's just a bit frustrated.
And Dragon now back available, so we'll have to see. Good catch.
Oh, Demonco's just going to get exploded. The exhaust comes down. Nice Monsoon. Actually saves Demonco's life as he flashes out, but Lloyd is able to finish off the kill. Symphony looking for something as Moss is going low. Smurf with the Soul Shackles. Warlock is going to get locked up after the ult comes through, but he does get the shot down. My God, the Super Mega Death Rocket sails by almost unnoticed by the Bangkok Titans as Zap does the same thing, and Symphony just body slams his way over the wall. Meanwhile, Kira's going to get taken down by 007 as he's now looking for Symphony. The Chompers are there. But Lex is going to escape as Symphony. He's going to die for his sins.
Yeah, so 007X in the end gets a really good flank on the backside of that, able to solo out Kira. That's the problem. Once you use all your movement speed, you're not able to get away from this Graggett, who's also picked up the Chilling Smite just to make himself a little bit more insufferable. And they'll pick up a Dragon off the back end of that. Just as we were saying, equal game, 2,000 gold the lead.
Yeah, 2,000 gold, and they've evened the Dragons here as well. Demonco with a cheeky ward is able to get it in there just there. but is just going to witness the fact that that is a dead dragon. Sheen now completed by Kira, as the puddle's going to come through just to clear out this wave. And that is a thing that they definitely have. Hard random, if they get to a situation where someone can do some sort of split pushing anywhere, at least Smurf can clear out waves at will.
Yeah, he certainly can. So able to just throw down that puddle, recollect with the team, now going towards that Zhonya's Hourglass. And if we take a look what happened here, Demonko got caught out, recovered the situation very well, but then had to overcommit there. Tried to flash out of the box, but Lloyd just does ridiculous burst damage. But really, just track Udyr here. So Smurf, he's doing some stuff. No one really cares. Udyr around the backside. He's pinging that he's there. He runs through the fight, sees Kira, smites him, then just runs up and chases down an Ezreal. So able to chase down the Ezreal. All of a sudden, he's a one-man wrecking crew on the back line. Completely zones out Symphony and Lex. Gets caught up by Chompers. That's always been the problem with Udyr. But that Udyr did a full loop of the team fight. Wasn't really able to get in, but kind of corralled them. He was almost...
Well, he took Kira out of that fight for the entirety of it.
Yeah, exactly right. So he was able to corral them into the position in the map they wanted, and that's just how much of a threat Udyr currently is on the map.
And Bangkok Titans, they are going to be able to take down this outer turret in the top lane as Hard Random again going to be sieging up this mid lane. Inner turret going to be under fire, of course. They did manage to get some picks earlier on when they were doing this exact tactic, but now they have to deal with Warlock up there. Teleports down for Smurf as
Lloyd takes the full brunt. And they just ult. That's the underrated thing about Gragas' ultimate. Able to just ult in there, but they use all the ults in response.
Yeah, there's a Spirit Rush to come through. Charm onto Symphony, but he's pretty tanky now with that Locket of the Iron Solari. Warlock continues his split push in the top side. And Hard Random know that they have a man advantage, but it seems to me like there's nothing that they can do. The wave clear is too strong from the Bangkok Titans.
Yeah, exactly right. Bangkok Titans use absolutely everything to keep that wave control equal there. As Moss caught out a little bit.
Just a little. The inner turret going to fall down in that top side of the map. Smurf not able to get back there in time, and it is going to be Warlock falling. There's the Death Sentence on Demonko, played back as well as the box comes down. Super Mega Death Rocket gets Moss, though, as 007 gets exhausted. Nice Howling Gale to knock up G4 there as the charm isn't going to land. G4 is going to have to head back as True Shot Barrage going to be up pretty soon. The Mystic Shots have been hitting, which has really helped that one out as 007 going to now try and clear out this wave. Another True Shot Barrage comes through. G4 able to get back in base in time.
But once again, it was a turret for a kill. Warlock got all the work done. They might be able to respond now, but now they need to get the heck out of dodge before any re-engage comes through. They take the mid outer for the top outer, so probably an equal trade. Sorry, inners. Wow. As we see Lloyd trying to clear out this
nice
CS wave in the bottom. Satisfying buckshot coming through.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Really beautiful. The Vampiric Scepter has been completed by Graves now as well on top of the Zeal. Wants to get a little bit more sustainability in the potential fights that will be erupting relatively soon. And I like that because with an Udyr, with an Ahri, there's a lot of consistent damage. So why not pick up an item that's really going to help you consistently?
Yeah, exactly right. Have to be able to sustain throughout that. Make sure that you have the ability to keep yourself healthy in those fights. So definitely agree with the pickup there. As you can see, they're just so far ahead at this point, and it's not just because of the turrets are completely equal, the dragons are very equal, the kills are slightly in their favor, but look at the CS. 40 CS across AD carries. It's just absolutely massive. It means about 1,000 gold advantage. You see they're looking for another fight here. G4 taking a heck of a lot of damage.
Yeah, Charm not going to find it as Spirit Rush still being looked for here by G4, but not finding anything. Zap's not going to find much either as both teams sort of missing a whole lot of stuff and everything is going to be fine. Kira is going to find an Arcane Shift, but other than that, just a bit of zoning play as the Bangkok Titans look to regroup.
Yeah, Lloyd getting him
something.
Engaged on. Wow.
Yeah, there's the explosive cast come through. Kira trying to lock this one down, but Super Mega Death Rocket is blocked. Lloyd, there's one more rocket that's needed, but Symphony is going to be there to lock that one down. Kira able to get out of the way of that onslaught of shadows, and Warlock just keeps going. True Shot Barrage. One more Mystic Shot doesn't get there. 007 picks up Demonko in the backside as Kira locks down that one. Lex is getting excited though. G4, is he going to go down? No, Zap's not going to land. And I think that the Ahri is going to be safe. The extra movement speed from the Orbit Deception helping him out as Moss just going to go back to base. He'll be okay, though. But look at this. Hard random with a 3 for 2.
Yeah, 3 for 2, and now they're starting to hit their power spikes. We said about the 21-minute mark would be when Kira would be looking to pick up that Trinity Force, as well as, oh, good snipe.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Kira, oh, there it is. Kira just knew exactly how much that puddle was going to do, and I thought that it wasn't going to do enough because I'm used to the support Morgana.
Yeah, exactly right. No support Morgana here. AP Morgana. Trinity Force finished up. That Muramana transformed. They also have Lex a little bit accelerated, where Kira is a little bit behind because of the kills. Lex is very far ahead. 3-1 and 6 has actually finished up the Phantom Dancer. So it was ridiculously strong at this point in the game on Jinx. We'll look to see how fast he can burn through the back lineup, as there's only really a Warden's Mail that Lex is dealing with in terms of damage. And this is where their comp really gets going. If they can take down the bottom turret, start sieging the other inners, they're in a great spot right now.
Yeah, they very much are. And of course, if they can take down this dragon at the same time, really start that one as a meaningful objective to go for towards the later stages of the game, really put the Bangkok Titans in a sticky situation with that one. They are going to take down the second very quickly.
They lose mid-turret for it in response. Good counter coming through from the Bangkok Titans, able to take another objective off the map.
Yeah, Hard Random, though, now have a whole lot of extra vision here on the map, though. Bangkok Titans haven't really been investing in that much. They need to be so
careful here. 007's in the bottom lane. They have a good Baron coming through from the Bangkok Titans. Gragas keeps himself relatively healthy, has the shield that can come through from Demonco, not to mention the fact that Monsoon kind of resets the team fight. And they have double AD.
And there's no vision available from the Bangkok Titans around the Baron. They've got one in that little brush, which is going to let them know if they walk around the edge of that wall. But other than that, no vision on the Baron. Bangkok Titans do have an Ari there, though. 007 able to clear out some more vision along here. So Hard Random losing a lot of their vision control that they had built up quite nicely. Very deep ward there around the Raptors of the Bangkok Titans. But now 007 looking to try and get something else happening. And now SEA team, they're sort of grouping up, but looks to me like they don't quite know what their next move is.
Well, they're just trying to get their minion waves to push in their favor. So they went and dealt with bottom minion wave. They just set the Ezreal ulti across top minion wave. So all they're trying to do is get minion wave control in their favor, set up so that the waves are doing half their job for them. And now they're looking for a pick. They might have caught out Moth.
Oh, 007 nimbly dodges out of that Dark Binding as Symphony's now going to be the focus. Already down to a third health as he pops out Locket of the Iron Solari Lloyd. There's a collateral damage over the team as Demonco's forced to flash away from the Orb of Deception. Bangkok Titans are able to get out, but that's a lot used on the side of Hard Random as Warlock's now looking to try and re-engage.
They've just got better positioning around this mid lane turret. Can they force here? They've sent Symphony back to base. Minion wave coming in. Have to see what they get done.
Yeah, Symphony able to heal back up. Of course, doesn't have the explosive cast because Lex, with a lot of minion wave damage, is going to be able to take that one down. The Rockets are going to do some work there as the Chompers come through as well, just to deter the Bangkok Titans lineup.
Yeah, so the answer is between Ezreal, Jinx, and Morgana, you have a heck of a lot of wave clear. So nothing done in that middle lane. Turret not even scratched hardly, and Warlock, he's forced to canter down into the bottom lane to shove out another wave.
Yeah, just trots through. He's going to be able to clear that one out. Does have teleport almost available if that Baron was going to be looked at. Hard Random, of course, still with a monopoly over the vision around that area, but are aware of the fact that there's not many members around because they are clearing out the bottom side. And Moss hanging around with Warlock here.
Yeah, they're just seeing whether they can pick someone off, get any kind of a catch to get them an advantage here. Unfortunately, Warlock, he's just going to be put back to split pushing duty. He has picked up his Frozen Heart as well as his Trinity Force, so he's in a good position right now as Hecarim, especially against the double AD composition. Probably doesn't have to worry too much.
Yeah, does he go Thornmail now or Warmogs or something like that?
Yeah, potentially Warmogs into Thornmail. This good build come through it. Warmogs, of course, helps you deal with the AP damage that's coming through. Morgana not really going to do the consistent damage required to take a Hecarim out. So maybe even just sits on a Giant Belt, then goes towards his Thornmails, make sure that he's as hard to deal with for Lex as possible.
Yeah, well, we'll see what he does decide to build up here. Of course, Warlock does have a whole lot of extra options. May even be a Randuin's Omen coming through. We'll see what he does decide to go with. But for now, he's going to continue pushing his G4. He's getting exploded. Explosive cast comes through. True Shot Barrage not going to find it, and G4 is going to survive. The Dark Passage Shield actually helping out there just a little bit, but Lex looking to continue the push. G4 forced to go back, but the minion wave, non-existent. And BKT, this is like a battle between both of these teams, Hard Random and Bangkok Titans, both with heaps of wave clear trying to siege.
Yeah, exactly right. They're not able to get in there at all. They already use Gragas Ultimate, which is their primary siege tool. And all of a sudden, they can't do anything. Lloyd just able to clear out all the minion waves. He's now nearly got a Blade of the Ruined King and half of... Wow, Symphony, are you caught?
Almost there as the zap comes through to deter Bangkok Titans from doing any more. But these Mystic shots are really doing work. G4 might have to go back again.
Yeah, he certainly does need to. As Lloyd, he gets up in the face.
Whoa!
Super Mega Death Rocket.
Both of them come through. Lloyd's able to flash away. The ultimate's converging at the right spot, but Lex now able to get some auto attack damage down. Beautiful teleport from Smurf. Locks down that, and that's an inhibitor dead. And this AD carry comp is really doing what it needs to.
Yeah, it certainly is. They caught Moss.
Yeah, Moss in a lot of trouble. That's going to be the Morgana picking up the killers. There's the Soul Shackles with the Zonyas, but not going to get any stuns as Warlock gets exhausted in the back line. There's the Mikhails to come through onto Lex as he's trying to kite this one out, but he is going to fall down. Hard Random trying to disengage, but they can't as everyone but Smurf is dead. And Smurf misses the binding. That is going to be the end of his life. At the same time, they get the inhibitor, but I have a feeling they may lose a potential Baron from this unless Smurf can continue to be really annoying.
Yeah, he certainly looks like he is trying to do just that. Warlock, of course, can teleport as soon as Smurf is dead. It's probably what he's going to do, and they'll start up the Baron, probably take that one down. They definitely will. There's still 10 seconds on Gragas.
Yeah, still 10 on Gragas. 2 men, though. Lloyd with a lot of damage. 007 able to tank up forever, and you would have thought 2-manning at Baron at 30 minutes might be difficult. Not for these guys, and especially not with some backup.
Yeah, exactly right. They had a Pony and a Fox girl on the way. So they're able to take that one down.
A Firefox, you might say? It's the skin that they... Look, come on.
I said Fox girl. Why are you trying to put words in my mouth?
You could have gone with Foxy Lady there, too.
Oh, I could have.
That would have been even better. We are going to zoom in.
Oh, dodges out on the True Shot Barrage as well.
Stunning play. And those melee creeps as well. Did not take a whole lot of damage, but it is going to be Hard Random taking down the 3rd dragon of the game. Unless we are going to see a death sentence steal. Not going to come through. Zap going to come down to help burst that one
So
through.
that is the 3rd dragon going across the Hard Random. Movement speed going to help them disengage a little bit more successfully. Mid lane is going to push, and if they can draw BKT out of the mid lane, the super creeps will win out against the normal creeps. Of course, Baron creeps a little bit better in a 1v1 fight than what the super creeps are. So if they're able to go into the mid lane, that won't be the case. But they pick up some more outstanding gold on the map, trying to get top lane pushing in their advantage, as you see that True Shot Barrage from Ezreal sailing across the map. And now, Hard Random, they just have to stall out for a little bit. Unfortunately, they took the open inhibitor. That's what they wanted to do, but they can't really do much else against these Baroned up minions who's going to repeatedly shove their lanes.
Yeah, and Lloyd now completes the Blade of the Ruined King, does have the Last Whisper on the way. He's going to have a whole lot of swords ready to do some work in these next fights. And what do you think about not going for that Last Whisper earlier on? Of course, they do have a little bit of armor here, but I guess it makes sense to not really go for it.
Yeah, exactly right. He's all about being able to sustain through fights. I actually think that a Bloodthirster would have been a little bit better of a pickup than the Blade of the Ruined King, but I understand he's trying to get Gragas down as well, so attack speed always a good item coming through. I just think the burst damage onto an Ezreal or onto a Jinx is very much needed in this composition. You can see also in the top lane, Warlock has gone for a Randuin's Omen, so committed very heavily to this build of getting rid of the armor users, just trusts himself to be able to survive Smurf's damage, and after we saw the chase, don't really blame him in that regard. And Smurf all of a sudden was a great wave clear out, now can do absolutely nothing.
Oh, in the meantime, though, G4 going to fall down to Lex. Symphony taking a whole lot of damage, so it is going to be the trade as the turret falls in the bottom side of the map. Kira is going to go aggressive now as Lloyd takes some Mystic shots, able to use that quick draw to get himself to safety. Warlock, though, he's thinking about taking down a turret as Hard Random, they really want this one. Warlock takes a whole bunch from Smurf as the Soul Shackles do come through, but he is going to canter his way out as Kira still looking to go forward.
And the rest of his team is going into the top lane. Kira just trying to stall.
Yeah, looking for something here as Dark Passage is around. Kira going to flash over the wall there, and he's going to stay safe, but that is going to give Lex time with this inner turret.
Yeah, so he's able to take that one out. Kira's still going aggressive.
Yeah, nice Arcane Shift going to get him over the wall. Out of the way of that Death Sentence, though, as Kira trying to use the Faith.
Whoa.
Look at that devastating charge, and Lloyd able to get that cheeky auto attack in. That's going to be enough. Smurf looks for the Dark Binding, finds the blue buff, no problem.
Yeah, so able to pick that up for himself. Nearly has his death cap coming through there as well. So Smurf going to be doing a lot of damage. Also has the luxury of not having to go for much of that magic penetration because only a locket being picked up by the opposition team. So Smurf, he's having a great game. 6-2-1. Is powering up nicely into the late game. Gives some AP threat coming through there. You saw Warlock not really just able to shrug him off anymore. Actually had to burn the defensively there. Probably saved another one of his team members' life for the fact that Hecarim wasn't able to dive in on the back line. And all the outer turrets except for bottom now falling and hard random. They're 7,000 gold behind, but they're starting to, I guess, drag Bangkok Titans around the map. And that's not what Bangkok want to do. They want to be in their face trying to siege up this mid lane.
Yeah, and if Hard Random managed to force Bangkok Titans into playing their game around this map, it sort of doesn't matter what the gold is because it's going to be Kira just auto-attacking and mystic-shotting and then getting to safety over and over again until Hard Random can get the picks that they want and then manage to take down the structures.
Yeah, exactly right. So Kira really doing a good job of forcing the tempo of the game. And really it is up to Warlock now to be able to delete him off the map. He's picked up another Chain Vest, probably going for that Thorn Mail right now. And, even the Banshee's Veil is being picked up for Lloyd. So right now, BKT in a huge position to be able to fight. The C-up lineup looking really strong. But once again, Symphony, he's looking for an engage.
Yeah, Dark Passage was over the side. Moss wasn't quite needed there. A little bit frustrating that Lloyd didn't take that one.
He's got the flank.
Yeah, G4 looking to come round. Of course, there is vision available from Hard Random, but not quite in that brush. So they do sense something is going wrong. Zap going to come through, not going to find anyone.
Yeah, they no longer saw Warlock in the bottom lane, so straight away they had to back away. They understand exactly how much of a threat this Hecarim is, but they have started up the fight. Once again onto 007.
Yeah, there's the Dark Binding to come through. Warlock is going to get body slammed as well. Takes a little bit of damage, but not too much as Lloyd looking to try and get amongst it. Quick draws his way in, but not going to find too much as Bangkok Titans now looking to fight this one out. The poke to come through from Hard Random's ridiculous as Symphony makes it over the wall. Smurf standing on a ward. That may spell his demise as Bangkok Titans not actually looking to find him there. Dark Binding going to come through as he makes his way out of that brush. So, Hard Random, now it's their turn to try and hold off the siege, and you have to think it's not going to be too hard.
Nah, so they're able to clear that one out once again. Kira with his ultimate nearly back off cooldown. He's going to be throwing those mystic shots out ASAP. So he's got relatively low cooldowns on all of his abilities coming through there. And Warlock, you see, he's a really tanky dude, but even he is struggling to get onto this backline. Morgana, Janna, that's a lot of feel. Moss just misses out on the blue buff steal.
That was a cutie little one, wasn't it? Yep.
So not able to pick that one up. And you feel that they really do need the Last Whisper coming through for Kira right now to be able to deal meaningful damage to this Hecarim, but also some lifesteal coming through onto Lex, because relatively soon there's going to be...
Yep, 007 going to get caught just a little bit. Black Shield onto Kira as he finds G4 with another Mystic shot. Really nice zoning Chompers to come down and Hard Random. They've got positional advantage. There are backs coming through from everyone. Nice Dark Binding onto Warlock as well. There's Hard Random just using their zoning tools so fantastically moving towards this inhibitor. The backs have come down. Home guards are coming through, but that's another inhibitor lost. Get excited now on Lex as he's trying to get some damage down. G4 going to get monsooned out of the fight. Dark Binding lists lazily over the team as 007 trying to get involved. Demonco gets torn apart by Lloyd as he's unstoppable. Lex now gets closed in on Smurf. He pops the Zonyas, but Lloyd just decides to quick draw into the face of Kira and take him out, and that's a clean ace for the Bangkok Titans, and I think they might be able to take some inhibitors.
Yeah, they certainly look like they want to, especially bottom lane. That minion wave crashing against the turret. They've sent back G4 to deal with a huge minion wave in their top lane. Couple of cannon minions up there. He'll be able to enjoy the spoils of that. But you see already Warlock, he's in the bottom lane looking to push that one in there, looking for the double inhibitors off the one team fight. Maybe even just the Baron. And what a team fight coming through for BKT.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff. They lose another inhibitor in the mid lane, but they don't care too much about it. Warlock continuing the pressure. Only Demonco up. We've got 3 seconds on Lex, and I have to think that Warlock probably going to be able to take this one down and canter away.
Yeah, he certainly looks like he's going to try, although Lex with the home guards is running in.
Yep, Zap not going to find Warlock, though he makes it just far enough.
Ezreal
ulti! So close!
That was so close. Like 341 health as the smite came through and Ezreal ulti at the same time. Nearly the miracle play coming through from Kira. They will be able to pick up Dragon. That's the 4th for the team. So if they can live another 6 minutes, Atlas, that's what's on the line right now and secure the 5th Dragon of the game. I feel like BKT, they don't know. That one's kind of snuck up on them. They're going to see it now and go, hang on a second, that's 4th Dragon. That's a really bad thing for us. But
is it that bad when you're 15,000 gold ahead, though?
Yeah, you know, their gold lead huge at the moment. They've got Baron as well. They've got position control over the whole map. But when you've got a double AD comp that scales really well with raw stats,
that's a good point.
5 Dragons is still a massive deal. Is it game-changing? Probably not. But, you know, you never want to give that one up for free.
That's true. I think you pretty much don't want to give anything up for free, as now BKT looking to try and get something started here.
Probably does more damage to Kira than Kira does to him.
Yeah, Thormail completed now for 007, and this Udyr is most definitely shrugging off everything thrown at him. Almost has 6 items.
Yeah, it certainly does. So able to get in there. They've once again set Warlock 2 split push. That means that they've got the pseudo 6-man in the bottom lane, being able to push that one up automatically with the super creeps.
Yep.
They've got the Baron up minions in the mid lane coming through, so they're pushing back the super creeps from hard random. And all of a sudden, 007, he can just tank up every single Mystic shot coming through from Kira, and there's not much they can do. They're pushing in on the mid lane.
Yeah, Warlock actually devastating charge is going to be used as Symphony just walks through and gets an ult through.
Out of the way from Symphony.
A little bit sad. Oh, actually, Dark Binding going to land here as well, as Kira gets a nice position and Symphony going to take him down. Lloyd going to get smited there just a little bit. G4 still very, very low hard random. They get one.
Yeah, Lloyd extremely scary because of the minion waves. They can't chase that one out, so Smurf's going to have to go deal with those. But at the end of the day, even with the 14,000 gold lead, hard random able to repel the siege.
And able to get a pick for it as well. I mean, it's not just getting them low, it's actually managing to pick up a kill. It's a little bit of a shame that they can't get any objectives, but of course you can't blame them because their waves are all pushing so far up and there is so much pressure on this CIS team.
Yeah, there certainly is. And Warlock, he's still trying to continue this one. So in the end, it's going to be slow played by both teams. Bangkok Titans, you feel that they needed to pull the trigger. They've got 2 hugely tanky members. One of them with a GA. Warlock, just dive the turret.
He's 7-1 and 10 on Hecarim.
And don't let that happen again because, as we mentioned, he might have even been caught out now.
Yeah, he's now got bound and the True Shot Barrage is going to come through, but Warlock just does not take damage.
Yeah, no, he's pretty tanky. He's also got that second life. Probably don't want to overcommit to him, but instead they just shove everyone away, keep their base alive. 14,000 gold, still the lead for Bangkok Titans, but the game not really moving anywhere.
Yeah, not quite. Another chain vest for Warlock here. He's got a lot of armor coming through on this Hecarim, probably going towards that Thormail now, as the GA was the option for that previous chain vest.
Yeah, and it's a certain point diminishing returns just kick in and don't make the armor worth it, Atlas. But horses for courses, as they say, coming through there. We'll have to see whether he just chooses to dive the turret now. He has 400 and something armor. Absolutely ridiculous.
He's also got an Elixir of Iron as well, so that's going to work quite nicely. That is definitely a magnificent horse. The inhibitor is going to respawn here on the side of the Bangkok Titans. It does mean that hard random are going to get theirs back relatively soon, as they're still trying to repel the siege here in the mid lane. Lloyd once again going to get smote.
Yeah, so they're just going extremely great. I think that if they take Lloyd off the map right now, they can maybe win a team fight. Depends how much they used to do it, but that's got to be their priority. Warlock and 007X, they kind of are the last 2 guys that you worry about because even though they're pretty strong, they just take so long to kill. So it's about whether you can catch G4, catch Lloyd out of position, maybe get the Miracle Gragas ultimate or a huge, I guess, flank coming through from Smurf, something like that that gets like the 4-man Soul Shackles. But yeah, this game, Bangkok Titans should really just dive a turret right now. They're so far ahead.
Yeah, and Lex is almost up to that sort of massive 6-item spike here as well as 007 trying to get some work done on this turret. True Shot Barrage going to clear out some minions here as well as G4's getting something done. Symphony able to get over the side there as Dark Binding does sail by the Bangkok Titans team.
And now they're just pushing in on the inhibitor once again, trying to get any space to try and take this one down. They've finally went in.
Yeah, Warlock sort of half engaging here as the Chompers come through, but that is going to mean that Hard Random gets some more respite. The inhibitor below half health, but Bangkok Titans never really pulling the trigger. They're just trying to get as much work done as they can while still retaining this sort of stalemate.
Yeah, so Symphony, he's caught on the wrong side of the map. All of a sudden, Warlock's engaged onto him. Can they catch the backside?
Yeah, the Randuin's has been used here by Symphony. Locket of the Iron Solari going to be used as well.
Warlock, the huge member, isn't there? Get in there.
Yeah, Kira like trying to fight around this one as the base gates are being used, but Bangkok Titans still staying out, and Symphony survived.
Yeah, so Symphony able to live that one. Finally, they're pressuring mid lane off the back.
Yeah, it's the 4v5. Demonko gets caught by that death sentence, and that's going to finish him off as 007 going to get stunned. G4 tries to use the ultimate to get in there. Lex going to get exhausted and flashes away. Beautiful death sentence. Predictive work as Lex is going to get eliminated. Smurf now, he's in a whole lot of trouble, but he is going to make it back to that Fountain Symphony. You can't take that lantern because that's Moss's lantern. And Warlock tanking up the turret, but does still have the Guardian Angel. There's 3 dead on the side of Hard Random. We'll see whether Bangkok Titans can complete it here.
Yeah, so they're looking to close out the game. They've still got their AD carry. That will be it. 44 minutes. But in the end, Bangkok Titans able to take it.
Yeah, Dark Binding and Alana Deloitte, though. There's the teleport in. The Hecarim does manage to come down. He can be the front line. The Nexus is exposed. And Bangkok Titans, the second place team to come through from the Southeast Asian region, now 2-0 in the International Wildcard Invitational.
Yeah, so they take it in pretty convincing fashion in the end. Took a little bit longer than you might have expected given the gold lead, but they finally pulled the trigger. They just wanted to make sure, and why not? Now they're 2-0.
Yeah, really like calculated play to come through in the end. I liked Hard Random's idea, though. I thought it was really exciting moving forward there. Fast push strategy definitely was successful with what they were trying to do. Of course, managed to take down that mid lane inhibitor very, very early on. There is still definitely hope for this CIS squad. They're looking really good.
Yeah, they certainly are. And what it did is it showed that they can play multiple compositions. All of a sudden, not only have they got like this awesome assassin player in the mid lane, he plays Ezreal, who plays double AD compositions. When you do things like that, mix it up, it's like Swiffer pulling out LeBlanc. All of a sudden, you have to worry about a different kind of tactic coming out from a team. Maybe you ban them away, but in the end, it was pretty well fought coming through. They had a tactic. They didn't execute it flawlessly, but you could see what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and the hooks to come through from Moss here as well. Put him on the main roster because, like, this guy is frightening. That last hook onto Lex that he faked out because he knew it was going to be juked was just beautiful.
Yeah, he certainly was able to nail them. Even earlier in the game, in the bot lane, the first engage that really got Lloyd going, was able to nail 2 awesome hooks coming through there as the turret was falling. Had the point, on-point exhaust for the Super Mega Death Rocket. It was pretty much nailing everything as the game went on and was definitely one of their keys to success.
Yeah, and Lloyd playing beautifully with him as well. We were talking about the fact that it's easy to play with a new support if you're moving forward. They were most definitely moving forward in their lane. And I guess, you know, Janna Jinx doesn't have a whole lot of pressure early on, but it was still fantastic to see.
Yeah, it certainly was. And, you know, Janna Jinx, they tried to shove in hard early. They ended up picking up the first turret of the game. But Graves was able to match aggression for very long times. And I think that is something that teams will start looking at. Lloyd, that's a couple of Graves games, and he certainly plays that character very upfront in your face, and especially against double AD comps or something that you want to run with an assassin. Because of the burst damage that Graves also throws out there with the collateral damage buckshot and maybe a sneaky crit, you have to start worrying, can Lloyd single-handedly turn these games around? Because he's certainly looking to be the case.
Yeah, well, it's true, and you have to look at the fact that there's a Hecarim and a Nudia again against this Jinx. And either you've got to ban Hecarim because that guy is definitely winning a whole lot of games thus far in the IWCI. But there's also the fact that that comp just took down a jinx. Don't pick it into it.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, I don't even think there's an either to the ban Hecarim right now. Just get the champion out of the pick ban phase because he does so much work as a solo unit. Fits into nearly every single composition, is categorically the best top laner right now.
Yeah, he most certainly is. But just to demonstrate that, we do have a replay, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see whether we are going to see some sweet plays from Warlock.
Yeah, so as we roll this one out, this is where the game really started getting going. Demonco got hooked there by Moss. And you look, and it looks like a successful disengage, but Lloyd all of a sudden explodes everyone. The teleport comes through and Smurf only able to really take the support off the map, and then it's just all about the Udyr coming through. Jinx Rocket completely whiffs, and all of a sudden 007X is zoning out the entirety of a team. He takes out Kira on the backside, able to link around. Unfortunately doesn't get Lex because of some well-placed chompers, but in the end, able to take out Symphony as well. It was just an overall better coordinated team fight off a fantastic Moss hook.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. And one thing that was a little bit upsetting was the fact that that explosive cask actually got completely whiffed in that fight. One thing I want to bring up, though, is the fact that we've seen Bangkok Titans play basically the same team comp twice in a row. And I think that is really, really intelligent from this team. Of course, the second team coming through from the Southeast Asian region, not a lot of these teams would have had as long to prepare for this team. Don't show very much of what you have in store and make sure that these teams have to put in a whole lot of work to try and work out what you're capable of.
Yeah, ever the optimist, Atlas. There's two things here. They either can only play one way or they're hiding strategies.
They're hiding strategies.
Yeah, so if that is the case, definitely intelligent play. They've only shown an Udyr, which honestly, if you have to throw a ban in an Udyr, isn't really a good thing because it means something like a Sejuani gets through the pick ban phase, which is very strong at the moment. So I like the fact that that's the jungler that they're running at the moment. The fact that they've got Hecarim top twice is mind-boggling. Not even going to elaborate any more on that pick.
Have we seen a Hecarim ban yet?
No, I don't think we have. But the fact that Moss, he's come out with a Gragas and now he's come out with a Thresh play, both of them extremely well. I agree with you that they're playing very similar brawl-heavy compositions, and that seems to fit their play style well. They like to catch fights.
Yeah, let's go to an interview, though.
Performance, by the way. Even though he's your sub-support, your bot lane is doing really good. Will you guys continue with Moss?
Well, he's definitely doing well, and I mean, we can't really reveal if he's going to continue in the next games, but I'm really glad that he's come with us in this tournament.
Okay, so you have won the first two games. How do you guys feel about this?
It feels great to go 2-0 on the first day, but you know, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and we'll continue to try to do even better in the next days.
So have you prepared any special tactics against the hard random?
No, we don't have any strategies specifically for any team at all in the entire tournament. We just focus on what we want and what we don't want them to have versus our comp. So we just focus on ourselves a lot more.
So match was mostly even. Can you tell us about the breaking point of the game?
Okay, so in our point of view, we were always ahead in that game. It was, we knew we were going to win, even though it took longer than we expected. It's just sloppy plays here and there from us. You know, it's like 4 a.m. in Thailand or something, and we just haven't adjusted the time. We're a bit tired, you know, we're a bit sloppy. But yeah, we pulled through and won the game, so that's good.
Thank you for the interview. Thank you, guys.
And man, that was some very, very confident words coming through, but really down to earth.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I like what he said about Moss. He said he's happy that the substitute is stepping up. Doesn't mean that he has anything on the roster, but he's really glad for his, I guess, roster mate to really do a good job, and they seem to be pulling out all the stops right now.
Yeah, they really are, and of course not actually preparing for any team, which I found very interesting, but it does sort of make sense because they have been dictating the pace of their games, and that's how they're getting the victories. It's saying, okay, well, we don't really care what you do because we're going to make you play to how we play.
Yeah, exactly right. Proactive League of Legends really makes you more, have more of a chance.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, we still have a couple more games coming up in our Day 1 IWCI action. We are going to have a short break, but guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon.